Hey, what's up guys? Your average wargamer is back with another video of Warships. And today, I'm gonna be featuring the Tier 10 Shinano, which is a steel aircraft carrier that you can buy right now for 30,000 steel. And you can apply coupon because now it is sort of out of early access and everyone can use coupon on them. It is either the Archerfish, which is a submarine, or the Shinano that they have released right now, and you can basically buy them if you want to. And hence the reason why I am featuring some Shinano gameplay. And honestly, I am playing Shinano in ranked exclusively and find it to be, I would say, pretty disgusting carrier, honestly. Like, it is pretty absurd against aircraft carriers. And these tips and tactics which I will be explaining, you will eventually find out that why I am saying that it is pretty disgusting. Now honestly, even though there is an enemy aircraft carrier which is Nakhimov, and Nakhimov has insanely huge citadel armor, like I don't know when they have even thought of Shinano as a balanced CV against these Russian or maybe even those British carrier like Nakhimov and Malta, when they have insanely big citadel. And they have probably never thought of balancing the AP skip bombers or anything against them. It's kind of absurd. And as you can see here, he did the pretty right thing. The Nakhimov actually kind of blocked me with two of its fighters, exactly on a position where I will not be able to get an easy drop on it. And even though one of my fighter did in fact tagged, which kind of given me some escape option to go against this Nakhimov, he was still gonna be extremely resistant. But again, it kind of does not matter unless you probably going to have interceptor and enhanced reaction build, which I would highly recommend on Nakhimov if you are playing the ranked battles. Otherwise, it's gonna be pretty rough. As you can see here, I just managed to get like what, 22k damage, which is absolutely brutal. Like he just lost 1/3 of its HP with just a single drop, and that is just enormous damage. No matter what, he just have literally no chance against preventing himself to get sniped. And again, you can see here the same thing that I done in a second drop, resulting in him almost lost 2/3 of his HP on a carrier hull. And I mean, just like I said, he does not have any sort of captain build whatsoever for anti-CV sort of I would say build, kind of making him really difficult to prevent these CV strikes. And I mean, skip bombers simply able to bypass those fighter planes simply because, well, I don't know why Wargaming has just not thought of limiting it to a single strike with the fighter planes on top of the enemy carrier or even the surface ship. You just simply able to bypass them because you just never get tagged outside 3 kilometers. I wish the Wargaming now realize that once they have added Shinano, they can just simply make it such that even if you are around 3.5 kilometer or 4 kilometer, the fighter will tag. But well, they are only they are basically stuck with like 3 kilometer, which is just an insane advantage to these AP skip bombers. Like anyone who is using fighters to prevent himself getting striked by CVs like more than once, he's just going to have its whole fighter value completely nullified because you're just simply able to bypass it. Like, you're just completely messing up, or I would say making the fighter consumable useless, which already it's not a good thing. Like, it's already, I have maybe explained like many months ago that how fighter as a consumable is pretty bad. Like, it takes time, and even then the planes are within 3 kilometers when it runs out. There are like a lot of details that I have to maybe make another video of, which I did. If you want to check that out, maybe I might put the link in the description below of that video, that why my fighter A consumable does not work. But yeah, that's unfortunately what skip bombers really are insane because of that. But anyways, I use the HE tactical dive bombers, which I would say are very, very versatile. Since they are pretty good against bow and targets, regardless if they have positioned themselves with the islands, you're just simply able to lob those HE bombs by just simply dropping them, making them very easy to use. Honestly, they also are very tanky. Those are tier 10 planes, which makes them really tanky. And I cannot forget about the torpedo bombers, right? Torpedo bombers are also kind of exactly as consistent as you can see. Lucky Des Moines somehow managed to dodge the first strike, but again, the second strike, positioning Des Moines here is just not going to do anything. And you can see here that the dispersion is so tight for the broadside that he eventually will die. And I think he was having the leg mod of the Des Moines, making him survive the first drop. But anyways, he is dead, and that's the power of the torpedo bombers. But I mean, again, the start of the show, I would simply say that the AP skip bombers are really going to be the case, simply because of their insane damage output, and simply because the ability to bypass the mid-range and short range aura, and even bypass the fighter consumable as well in general, which kind of makes them like absolute beast against cruisers that have defensive fire. And then they have given on top of already good or decent ability to just bypass those auras, heal. Like, you can bypass the mid-range and short-range aura, and then you also are able to bypass the fighter consumable, and then you can also have the ability to heal them for 5 seconds duration, which means that if there is a lot of grouped up battleships or cruisers, well, you're simply able to still drop onto that target regardless. And you can just simply re-drop 2 times, and you can just simply use a single strike. Now here, the unfinished job that I haven't done against Nakhimov needs to be done, because our team fully deciding to not win the game. Like, in fact, as you can see here, we have the cruisers dead, we have 1 battleship dead, and they have 4 ships, including a CV. So if I just remove their CV, that will kind of makes it 3 versus 3, and also give me a huge advantage not to deal against carriers in the late game, which again, it just makes it so much more powerful overall. And as you can see here, that Nakhimov is extremely frustrated, and I can really understand that why. But again, I would definitely recommend you to use the build which is gonna be sort of anti-CV, which might not be the best for Nakhimov because there are some useful options, but again, he has to use it, otherwise he will die like this. And he should have been dead like many minutes ago, but I just have to not think of it for now. Think of it before until now, I would say. I mean, I just now realize that it's gonna be the main priority, otherwise it's gonna be too much of a problem. But anyways, he's dead, which is good. And now we have the Shikishima. And Shikishima, with me playing in a full aggression, shows that that's why Shinano will be pretty ridiculous. You have secondaries. I didn't build it for secondaries, but your secondaries are still gonna be pretty good in getting a lot of shell hits. You have, I would say, with the upgrades, but not the captain skill, there's a 4-pointer captain skill that can just increase the secondaries up to 11 kilometer with the secondary flag. But I don't recommend you that. I would simply recommend it to use like 9.5 kilometers secondary range, which I would say still gonna be pretty relevant and still gonna be pretty useful, because you have Graf Zeppelin levels of dispersion. You already have baked in very, very insanely good accurate secondaries, even without building it up for it. So that is the coolest part of the Shinano, which kind of makes it even more absurd, right, in the late game. And since the Nakhimov is dead, I can now comfortably just farm the rest of the ships. Lucky enough, our battleship somehow managed to kill the Kremlin. That Kremlin was pretty low in HP, and I was slightly broadsiding him because I didn't smoke myself up. So now I have a good situation where I can just drop the Yodo. Now I don't know why I'm not able to get Citadels. I don't know, just missing out on a Citadel, because Yodo does have a big Citadel, right? I don't know, I just messed up there. But again, it shouldn't be a big of a problem. I can just play aggressive, and I can hopefully be able to kill the Yoda with the help of tactical HE type bombers and even torpedo bombers if needed be. Because again, if the AP skip bombers might not be the cup of tea in that situation, you can always use HE type bombers, tactical dive bombers that can deal 12,000 damage with 5 bombs, and then you can also use the torpedoes. Now torpedoes are obviously are also very impressive. Not like the Hakuryu one. Like Hakuryu are really good, but still they are pretty spicy. Look at that dispersion. That dispersion is very difficult to dodge. Like, and that's what I always say. These torpedo bombers are extremely insane for what they do. Like in this case, as you can see here, he has 16,000 HP remaining. All 3 torpedo hits basically needed for me to get to not only a kill, my 3rd kill, but also getting more than 200k damage, which what Shinano can easily do. It has started to get a lot much more my favorite aircraft carrier because it is just completely broken, to be honest. Like, what really makes wargaming do that, what they have done with Shinano, with the AP escape bombers, I don't know. But there it is. 201k damage, 12 hits, 3 kills, 13 torpedo hits. It's a feast, man. It's just a feast. The whole enemy team is a feast, including a carrier. And the base XP also shows that it is actually the case. You can just play dumb aggressive by smoking yourself up, and you can still pull this off like this. It is so funny, but it is pretty unfortunate to watch that how ridiculous that carrier can be in ranked battles. Well, Nakimov really have taken a lot of damage from AP escape bombers, which you can clearly see. Yodo, Des Moines, and then Shikishima are also my prime targets. That's actually, that should have given me what? The high caliber, obviously. So yeah, that is it for the Shinano game. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and I will catch you guys into the next video. Peace out.